Hey everyone, I'm here to read you the social studies for this week, America's Man-Made Landmarks. And here on the cover, we saw the Mount Rushmore. Here's the Washington Monument right here. Behind that's the Abraham Lincoln, and it looks like they're standing on the steps of the Capitol building. Man-made landmarks. A landmark is a place that is special in some way. Many landmarks are found in nature. The Grand Canyon and Niagara Falls are good examples. People like to visit these natural landmarks to see the beauty of nature. There's also landmarks that people have made. We call those man-made landmarks. Most man-made landmarks honor something from the past. Special things happened in those places. These landmarks can be things such as buildings or statues. They pay tribute to the past. They remind us of key events. It is important to preserve America's landmarks. The government helps protect them. It takes care of them so that we can visit them. Landmarks are special. They help us remember our past. They tell the story of America all around us. America has thousands of man-made landmarks. In fact, there are many in each of the 50 states. The U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C., the Empire State Building in New York City. The Hollywood sign was created to advertise in 1923. Western landmarks. On December 7, 1941, Japan bombed American ships in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. More than 2,000 people died that day. The USS Arizona was one ship that sank. Many others sank as well. This was during World War II. Today, many people visit Pearl Harbor. They think about the brave soldiers who died there. A memorial was built over the sunken ships. It is called the USS Arizona Memorial. A memorial honors an event in which people died. The memorial is a long building. It sags down in the middle and rises up at both ends. This was done for a reason. It is a symbol that America was weak for a short time, but then became strong again. It is called World War II, Valor in the Pacific. Valor means bravery. The men and women who died were brave. They fought to protect our country. Here's the memorial right here. You can see it's high on the ends and low in the middle. Sailors rescue someone from the water after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. You can see the sailors here and they're in the water. World War II. World War II lasted from 1939 to 1945 and involved almost every part of the world. The United States did not join the war until after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Many thought it could not be done, but the Golden Gate Bridge was completed on May 27, 1937. It is in San Francisco, California. It was a tough bridge to build. It had to cross a 3-mile strait. A strait is a narrow passage of water. It connects two larger bodies of water. These bodies of water are the San Francisco Bay and the Pacific Ocean. This strait is known for its dense fog, gusty winds, and strong tides. The bridge is a suspension bridge. This means that the bridge is hung from cables that are held up by towers. It took 4 years to build. The orange bridge is known throughout the world. Its orange color was chosen for a reason. The warm color looks good against the cool colors of the water and sky. Plus, the orange is easy for passing ships to see when there is a heavy fog. The Golden Gate Bridge during construction in 1936. Lights, camera, action. The Golden Gate Bridge has appeared in many movies. Some of these movies include Superman, Star Trek, and X-Men. Have you seen the famous bridge in a movie? Cars drive over the Golden Gate Bridge on opening day, August 6, 1937. The Hoover Dam was built because people living in the West had a concern. They wanted to find a way to control the Colorado River. The mighty river runs from the Rocky Mountains to the Gulf of California. It is the river that carves out the Grand Canyon. The problem was that the river caused big floods in the spring. Then it would dry up in the summer. People wanted to stop the flooding and store the water to use during the summers. In 1931, President Herbert Hoover hired many workers to build a huge dam. This is a large wall that slows or stops the flow of water. The dam worked. It stopped the river from flooding. It also stored water for the summer months. The dam even took the energy of the flowing water and turned it into electricity. The dam took 5 years to finish, and it still works today. It reminds us that Americans can solve big problems by working together. Hoover Dam Tunnel under construction, 1932. These turbines use flowing water to make electricity, so these are turbines. Hoover Dam was first named Boulder Dam in 1947. The name was changed to Hoover Dam to honor the president who had built it. And here's Hoover Dam, another picture. Taos Pueblo is an American Indian community in New Mexico. A pueblo is a set of homes. It is made of several stories or levels of rooms. The homes are built from adobe. This is a type of brick made from straw, mud, and water. The bricks are left out in the sun to dry. The Pueblo American Indians built the pueblo more than 1,000 years ago. They built it to close the Rio Grande River. They built it close to the Rio Grande River. They wanted to live near the water. The river gave them water to drink and to use for farming. This is an important landmark. It shows us how early American Indians used to live. Members of the Pueblo tribe still live there. They take good care of the pueblo. They also welcome visitors. People can watch American Indian dances. They might even be invited to join a family for a feast. This is a special day of eating and visiting. Welcome to Taos Pueblo. 2 homes. It is a tradition not to have running water or electricity in the pueblo, so many families have 2 homes. One home is outside the pueblo. This is the home the family lives in most of the time. Then they use the pueblo for traditional ceremonies. Oh, I can't read this. Chanters and drummers do a war dance at Taos Pueblo in 1960. The Midwestern landmarks. Mount Rushmore National Memorial is in South Dakota. It is a large mountain with faces carved into it. The faces are of 4 American presidents. It shows George Washington. He was our first president. Another face belongs to Thomas Jefferson. He wrote the Declaration of Independence. Then there's Theodore Roosevelt. He helped save natural landmarks in America. The last face is Abraham Lincoln. He helped bring America together when it was split apart. The memorial was made to honor these great men. So, Thomas Jefferson. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and then Theodore Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln. The Mount Rushmore National Memorial took 14 years to make. It was finally finished in 1941. It cost more than $1 million. It cost $1 million. Over 350 workers helped carve the faces into the mountain. They used dynamite to do it. And the site of the landmark is a museum. There are also flags there from all 50 states. People visit Mount Rushmore from all over the country. It helps us remember these great American leaders, giants. The faces carved into Mount Rushmore are much larger than your face. In fact, if 3 adults stood on one another's shoulders, they would still be shorter than Thomas Jefferson's nose.